Welcome to Donna's World. Hello, everyone. Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to Donna's World. Today, I'm going to talk about, well, I suppose I should call it cultural appropriation. Um, this is when, well, look it up on Google. It's too complicated to explain. Cultural appropriation, Google it. And I'm going to talk about it within the context of Bridgerton, that very, very, very popular Netflix drama produced by Shonda Rhimes, the great Black American TV producer. And I think it's probably the most popular drama in the world at the moment. It's just started a new series on Netflix. And, to be honest with you, I quite like watching it. It's fun. It's all about romance and drama and high society intrigues and, gossip, a secret gossip columnist who catalogues the activities of the aristocracy as they go about their daily lives and try to get themselves married off to each other. And of course, there are the beautiful costumes and just that general, flair and fun thing about historical drama. So, the thing is, even though I personally enjoy Bridgerton because it's escapist, it takes you out of your normal day-to-day stress and boring normal day-to-day lives most of us lead, I kind of disapprove of it. And I've been having this running argument with various friends for a long time, ever since Bridgerton first hit our screens, because I just think that the idea of Black people and Asian people playing British lords and ladies in I think it's the 18th century, it's so sort of like unrealistic, because at that time, of course, there were Black people in London, um, but they would have been artisans or artists, maybe sailors, servants, but certainly not Lord and Lady Hastings or dukes and duchesses that were part of this intricate network of high society people who were closely allied to the crown and regular visitors to balls in Buckingham Palace and all the rest of it. And of course, sitting on top of all these. Now, one of the things that people say to justify the fact that a lot of the aristocrats in Bridgerton are Black or Asian or Chinese. Well, Chinese are Asian, but you know what I mean, sorry. Um, is that the Queen at the time, Charlotte, there have always been rumors that she actually was mixed race or of such a Black or Moorish extraction. And this has never actually been proved historically. That it's never been proved that Queen Charlotte was a woman of color, but even if she was, she certainly wasn't surrounded by lords and ladies and dukes and duchesses of color. So, like I said, it's all good, clean fun on one level, and I do watch it. I am very interested in the current series, where the little plump, sweet one who plays, who has been in love with one of the Bridgerton brothers for ages. It looks like she's going to finally get her man, and she's interesting because she has a secret life as well. So kind of like I said, I quite enjoy it, and but I do have reservations about the fact that not just that it's unrealistic, because there were no Black people in those positions at that time, what worries me about it is that it gives the impression that black people would love to be part of a world that was never really their own, would have loved, and maybe even would love even now. What I mean by this is that, it's kind of like, it's almost like, well, it's just play acting, but it's like, it comes across as a kind of fantasy that, black people would just, that's what they really want, is to be in a white world as in that kind of way. And point being that I don't think that's a healthy aspiration or impression to give. I had an argument with a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and she said that, her daughter, she's Asian, and she said that her daughter would be encouraged to see black people playing lords and ladies in the 18th century or in any century, that it gives them role models. And I said, but why can't we do our own thing? I mean, at the time when Bridgerton is set, in the time when Bridgerton is set, in the historical era it's set in, there were grand Maharajas in India who were far richer, grander, more exciting than their British counterparts. There were also kings and queens in Africa. So I kind of think, well, let white people play their own and let's play our own. And Shonda Rhimes, who is a black woman, I would prefer her to get some scripts together in which she depicted black people in a natural milieu. If she wants to do it historical, in the 18th century, and, where everybody is doing something realistic. We have the same problem around issues like this thing about who the next James Bond should be. I don't know if they've actually picked someone yet, but for a long time there was speculation that the next James Bond should be Idris Elba, that stunningly handsome West African man. Um, and yeah, I'm sure that Idris would be a great spy, a glamorous spy, because that's what James Bond is all about: glamour and excitement and pizzazz. And I'm sure Idris would depict that very, very well. But I just wonder again, Ian Fleming, who wrote the James Bond books, he was writing about an English spy, and Idris ain't English. So I think, wouldn't it be so much better for someone to write an amazing script about a spy who is black, who zaps around Africa and the Caribbean and the world, any part of the world, solving crimes, kicking ass, being glamorous, being handsome, being strong, being dynamic. I mean, why can't we have our own James Bond? Why do we have to insert a black person into the role? I mean, of course, look, it's a spy story. Anybody could be a spy. But I just think that there's a kind of lack of imagination, or maybe a lack of courage, or maybe there's not, maybe there's not enough funding for original stories about black people and Asian people. I don't know, but I would like to see stories about that are truly about us and that are authentically about us. And another thing that came up recently was huge row because Romeo and Juliet, the Shakespeare play, they wanted to put a black girl into the role of Juliet. And again, Juliet was a white Italian girl from Genoa or Verona or somewhere in, you know, bygone centuries in Europe. And so why would you not put a black girl in that role? Meanwhile, the guy who's playing Romeo is white. So now we have a white Romeo and a black Juliet. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I mean, I was married to a white man myself for a while, so I'm not against that. I just think, well, Juliet is white. So why don't we do a great romance about a black version of Juliet? Something new, something fresh. So that's what these are one of those issues or topics that people are so divided on. Because a lot of my friends think, why are you like this? Why can't you just accept that anybody can be anything and that drama does not restrict people to specific racial stereotypes, and that, you know, the Little Mermaid can be black. And I said, yeah, the Little Mermaid can definitely be black, because it's not, you know, the mermaid thing is not a, it's not a racially specific thing. We have mermaids in Africa too, at least people believe in them. We call them Mami Water here. So I don't mind a Little Mermaid movie that's about a black mermaid, or lots and lots and lots of roles that could be taken by black people. And I'm delighted that black people are getting more roles in the in mainstream drama. But when it comes to some of these iconic things like Bridgerton, Romeo and Juliet, James Bond, I just think it's time to start creating things that are authentically ours, that are specifically for people of color. Instead of us looking as if we always want to be part of someone else's party, like kids with their noses pressed up against a sweet shop window looking in and wanting to be part of something that isn't really, strictly speaking, ours. Am I being racist? I mean, it is possible for black people to be racist. Am I being racist? I'd love to know what you think. Um, and I'd like to ask black people who disagree with me how they would feel if iconic black characters like Shaka Zulu or Martin Luther King or whatever were played by white people, just to prove the point that drama is fluid and that, you know, we don't have to be rigid about these things. So, you know, what do you think? Am I being unreasonable, or do you agree with me? Thank you. Bye.